Have you ever thought about the first LASIK procedure and how we got from research and experimentation to actually performing routine surgeries on a daily basis? Today, Dr. Marguerite McDonald will be joining us to tell us the story of the very first LASIK procedure and the patient who actually volunteered to be the first test subject. Dr. McDonald?
I want to talk to you.
Not now, later.
No, now.
Dr. McDonald, you've told me the amazing story of the very first LASIK procedure and the brave person who volunteered to be the first human test subject. Would you mind repeating that story for our viewers? I think everyone will be as fascinated by it as I was.
Well, this is a fantastic story. The FDA had us doing, they were terrified that we were going to blind people. Nothing like this had ever taken place. No one had ever tried to get rid of glasses or contacts, except for good old radial keratotomy, which was fading, and it worked for nearsightedness and astigmatism only, and it wasn't all that accurate. But anyway, this was such a big, the bar was set so high by the FDA that we did countless animal trials, countless. And we'd go to the FDA with more monkey data, and they'd tell us to go back and do more and more and more. And then one day we get a call from the oculoplastic service at LSU, and they said, "We've got a 61-year-old lady here with a cancer of the orbit. We're gonna have to take her eye out and about a fourth of her head. This is a 20/20 sighted eye. Even if we do this disfiguring, terrible operation, it's called an exoneration, her chance of dying from the cancer is significant. But she asked us, before you chop off most of my head, is there anybody who wants to do an experiment on this eye?" And I said, "Are you kidding me?" So we go barreling over there. She was a lower middle class lady, very sweet. In the face of all this bad news that you're probably going to die of cancer, but we have to take off a big chunk of your head to save your life, to try to save your life, she thinks to offer. So we called the FDA and we said, "We've got someone who's about to lose her eye." We tell the whole story. "Can we have permission to do laser on her? We'll get the specimen in 11 days, but we only have 11 days. There was no time to move the laser. The FDA said yes. We brought her out to the Delta Primate Center. We brought her past monkeys shrieking and spitting at her. We laid her down under the laser and ablated her, and we watched her every day, right through the weekend, every day until the day she had her surgery. And she had a beautiful result. Now, this was a 20/20 eye. We pretended she was 4.5 diopters myopic. So we made her blurry. Her last few days before she lost her eye, we made her blurry. She healed beautifully. The refractive result was perfect. The pathology when we got her eye, it was perfect. So the FDA let us finally start moving on to normal people who were blind in one eye, partially sighted. So finally we were able to move the laser from the Primate Center out in Covington, Louisiana, bring it across the 28-mile Pontchartrain Bridge and bring it back to the medical school. And the dean said, "You're not putting that thing in the building because it's going to leak gas and kill everybody." And I said, "Well, we've been around it for years now, and it's sealed up and it never leaks, and we don't feel any danger." Nope. So we put it in a trailer outside the building. And I was very upset that we had to march our patients into this little trailer, which was next to the LSU trash compactor, by the way. And I insisted that we put Alberta Cassidy's name on it. So they said, "No, we're not naming anything here at the university after someone who hasn't given us any money." I said, "She's given us about everything she could." And she died, by the way, before the sign went up. But her husband was very proud. Alberta H. Cassidy, LSU Lions, Excimer Laser Center.
That really is such a wonderful story. If it had not been for her, I think it's safe to say you would have faced years of further delays.
We'd still be doing monkeys. I'm joking, but not much. We would have done monkeys for another quite a few years. They called us. They would call us. The FDA would call and say, "Get here tomorrow." And I'd have to cancel surgery and office hours and fly overnight to answer more questions and then go back. They were terrified that we were going to harm people big time.
Well, Dr. McDonald, thank you again for speaking with me today and for sharing that story with all of our YouTube followers.